Good morning, and thank you all for coming. My name is Jerry Cheney, spelled Jerry, last name Chaney. I'm the commanding officer of Central Traffic Division. We are here to announce the arrest of a street racing suspect involved in the fatal traffic collision of a 20-year-old victim in Newton area. On July 21st, 2023, at approximately 10:20 p.m., two individuals engaged in street racing near Hill Street and 33rd Street that took the life of Anna Michelle Solis. Those two individuals have been arrested, charged, and followed upon for murder by the Los Angeles District Attorney's Office. I want to thank the members of the community who provided information to help us solve this case. I want to thank the members of the Mayor's Crisis Response Team for their support and assistance. I want to thank our specialized units, specifically Southwest Division's Gang Enforcement Detail and our Gang Narcotics and Narcotics Division. Their follow-up investigations were instrumental in the apprehension of the suspects. Finally, I must thank Central Traffic Detectives as well as South Traffic Detectives for their relentless follow-up investigations, canvassing, and recovery of video evidence that was crucial to the murder findings. Now, I would like to talk about traffic safety. Vehicle traffic affects our daily lives. Please understand there are serious consequences when people make the decision to participate in illegal vehicle violations, such as distracted driving, impaired driving, street racing, speed contests, or street takeovers, and is involved in a traffic collision and decides to leave. You not only have a moral obligation to stop and remain at scene, but it's also the law. Don't convert a traffic collision into a crime. Equally important, the Los Angeles Police Department has a zero tolerance for street racing, speed contests, street takeovers, and the destruction of city property. It is illegal, unsafe, and extremely dangerous to all community members. I want to emphasize, those that think engaging in this type of activity is cool and fun, it's not. And like the individuals in this case, there will be consequences. So don't engage because it's not worth it. Before you hear from the investigative detective, I would like to introduce a few department managers and partners. First, Deputy Chief Donald Graham, Transit Services Bureau. Commander Craig Valenzuela, Traffic Group. Deputy James Garrison, Los Angeles District Attorney. And Laurie Armento with the nonprofit organization Street Racing Kills. Now, I would like to have Commander Valenzuela say a few words.
Thank you. Good morning. Just want to, I know Jerry's already, Captain Cheney spoke specifically about this case, and you'll hear from some of the detectives. I'd like to cover some of the little more citywide, some of the broader trends in Southern California across the area, because this is not a problem that just comes here in Los Angeles, but our partners in the sheriffs in Long Beach, throughout the region, we're dealing with this. These are dangerous street takeovers, street races from both a violence perspective, as we saw in South Los Angeles just a few days ago, where there was a shooting, but also, as we saw in this case that we're dealing with today, from a traffic perspective. Citywide, we have seen, this is just in the city of Los Angeles, 3 fatalities from traffic in this year alone at races and street takeovers, and many other severe injury collisions over recent years. Los Angeles Police Department wants to offer its condolences to the Solis family for the loss of their daughter, niece, sister, family member. Finally, I want to thank both the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office for their help in this case, as well as Central Traffic Division for putting in the hard work, the follow-up to bring the suspects to the criminal justice system. Thank you, Captain Cheney. Back to you.
Next, I would like to introduce the investigating detective, Detective Ramirez.
Good morning, members of the media. My name is Detective Daniel Ramirez, D-A-N-I-E-L-R-A-M-I-R-E-Z. I am a detective with the Los Angeles Police Department Central Traffic Division. We are here today to discuss the tragic loss of Anna Michelle Solis, innocent pedestrian crossing the street on Hill and 33rd. On the night of July 21st, 2023, at approximately 22:20 hours, she was simply crossing the street eastbound, just going about her business that day. That's it. She was struck and killed by a Jaguar who was street racing a Dodge Challenger. I sit here today and there's nothing that I'm going to say that's going to bring solace to this family. But all I can simply highlight is the hard work that was done on this particular case by Central Traffic Division and South Traffic Division. Central Traffic Division collision investigators responded to the scene that night, and they conducted a very thorough investigation, collecting parts from the Jaguar. From there, the people who stand behind me, Central Traffic investigators, were able to do a follow-up to the dealership to determine what kind of car we were dealing with that struck her. I want to highlight the community's involvement in this, because without this, we could not have solved this case. By no means. The community played an instrumental role in this. The business community within Newton Division and the businesses along Martin Luther King. We canvassed right as we got called. My detective, DeHessa, got called in, and he responded with a few of our guys who are on call, who do respond to homicides and murders within our office. We did respond, and we immediately started canvassing throughout the locations that we knew that this took place. Our canvassing was the collision, post-collision, and pre-collision. The detectives within South Traffic Division responded to assist us with canvassing for cameras. Once we were able to obtain video of the suspects, number one, engaged in a street racing contest, as well as them pre-collision, how we were able to identify them, that was instrumental in this case. From there, we reached out to our partners at Gangs and Narcotics Division and Metropolitan Division, as well as our partners at Southwest Division, to help identify the suspects and apprehend them. On August the 3rd, Javori Murphy, a resident of Palmdale, was arrested for 187A with booking number 6653032. He was the driver of the Jaguar. The driver that he was street racing of the Challenger was arrested August the 4th. His name was Devin Wagner. He is a resident of Los Angeles. He was arrested for murder as well with booking number 6653771. Again, there were countless hours spent on this case through multiple units throughout the city of Los Angeles. It was the traffic detectives of Central and South that helped solve this case and work it tirelessly. There was a lot of work that was done, and there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. I'm just simply here to highlight the hard work that was done on this. That's what I have.
Our next speaker will be Deputy DA Garrison.
Good morning. My name is James Garrison. I'm the Assistant District Attorney for the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office. On behalf of the District Attorney, I would like to thank the Los Angeles Police Department, specifically the Traffic Division, for their thorough and professional investigation and their dedication to solving this case. Our thoughts go out to the family of Anna Michelle Solis, beloved daughter, family member, and member of our community whose life was cut tragically short by this awful crime. No family should go through what the Solis family is going through, and it is our hope that when we seek justice in this case, that it will provide some solace to the family. Our office has charged the defendants, Javori Murphy and Devon Wagner, with 1 count of murder each, and Mr. Murphy is also charged with hit and run from a fatal accident. The defendants are being held on approximately $2 million bail. Their next court date is September 1st in Division 30 of the Central Division. Thank you.
Our next speaker will be the officer in charge of our street racing task force, Sergeant Castanedas.
Good morning. My name is Sergeant Arnold Castellanos, A-R-N-O-L-D, last name of C-A-S-T-E-L-L-A-N-O-S. I'm the officer in charge of the LAPD Central Traffic Division Street Racing Task Force. With the evolution of automotive technology, today's vehicles are more powerful than anything we've seen in history. These vehicles are coming off the line with more horsepower than one can even fathom. Couple that with young drivers trying to impress their friends, impress social media, trying to just basically show off for one another, and that's a recipe for disaster. These people are placing themselves in danger and those around them, and they're putting themselves in deadly situations. They're injuring themselves, those around them, and killing innocent people, as is witnessed today. Recent legislation such as Ryan's Law now allows those individuals in street racing and street takeovers resulting in someone's death to be charged with murder. Every day street races occur and takeovers are occurring, and that's an opportunity for disaster for all of us. There's the danger of the drivers losing control or hurting themselves or killing themselves or others. But in addition, now these events have become increasingly violent. Not only do you have the danger of the vehicles being used as a weapon, but a lot of these individuals are now arming themselves as well, carrying firearms and weapons as well. They form quick mob-like mentalities and commit other crimes, which has been witnessed throughout the city as well. We will not tolerate this, and will use every means afforded to us under the law to apprehend those who are involved in street racing and takeovers. This also includes spectators, organizers, or anyone else involved. To the parents, spouses, and family members of those young adults, I implore you, ask the uncomfortable questions. Make sure you know where your loved ones are. Make sure you know what they are doing. Be involved and help them make the right decisions. These young adults have 3,000-pound weapon, and they have to be knowing that they are completely responsible for that. You would not let your family member go out and drive drunk. Why would you let them go out and drive recklessly? Some say it's just kids having fun, and that it won't happen to us. All it takes is one time, and there's no going back. It's up to you to protect them as well. Thank you.
This concludes our press conference. I will have Detective Juan Campos provide a statement in Spanish. Oh, Laurie? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll have Laurie come up and provide a statement. Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. My name is Laurie Argumedo, Loriargumedo. I am the Outreach and Community Relations Director for the nonprofit organization Street Racing Kills. We are a nonprofit organization that is passionate about creating awareness about the dangers of reckless driving and street racing among our youth and our communities. Our organization was founded in 2014 by Lily Trujillo Puckett after her 16-year-old daughter Valentina was killed by a young man that was street racing. I joined this organization in 2019 after my niece was killed by a young man that was street racing. When we laid Bethany to rest, I made a promise to her that her death would not be in vain and that I would do whatever it takes to keep her memory alive. There is not a day that goes by that I don't think about my niece, Bethany. It's one thing when you lose someone to something like a disease or old age, but when you lose someone to something that's 100% preventable, It's like nothing that you can imagine. On May 19, 2019, that is the day that my family's life changed forever. My niece and her little brother were only a few blocks from their home, the home that they actually grew up in, when two young men decided to race down a residential street. These young men were driving at about 100 miles per hour when they ran the stop sign and hit my niece and nephew as they were driving in their vehicle. My niece was killed at the scene, and my nephew was left in critical condition. Both the young men fled the scene without rendering aid and left them there to die. There are a lot of things that I will never forget in my lifetime. The phone call that I received on Mother's Day at 5 p.m. telling me that I needed to go to the coroner's office to identify my niece's body. The true feeling of heartbreak when you realize that you have lost your loved one. Having to tell her little girl that mommy is never coming home. And having to do my niece's makeup for her for her funeral instead of her wedding. Our mission is simple. We don't want to see any more families go through the pain and agony of losing someone to something that's 100% preventable. We want to save lives by mentoring and creating awareness. Bethany's story is the reality of what happens when you race on the streets. Innocent people are killed. Her daughter will continue to wonder why her mommy's never coming home. Our family will forever be haunted by the phone call we received on Mother's Day. Our founder and executive director started programs in 2014, and today we are very proud of all the programs we have, from teen traffic safety assemblies, after-school teen traffic safety classes, teen traffic safety senior projects, youth and safety for parents and their children, our very own Val's Respect the Road Scholarship, where we are committed to developing the next generation of safe drivers, the Reckless Driving Intervention Program. This is where we work and mentor those closely that have been charged with reckless driving. We also offer alternatives to those that want to street race. We take them to the track, Irwindale Speedway. Every Thursday Night Thunder, they can race and not worry about taking an innocent person's life. There's also a burnout box there. They can do all the donuts or slide their car all they want and not worry about running over a bystander. So I'll leave you with one thing today. Street racing kills, but together we can save lives and make a difference. Thank you so much. To learn more about our programs, our life-saving programs, please visit us at streetracingkills.org. Thank you so much, and thank you everybody for today.
Okay. Now this concludes our press conference. I'll have Juan come up and provide a statement in Spanish.
Bueno, soy oficial primero, soy detective Juan Campos, Juanceampos, División de Tráfico. Ahora vamos a anunciar un arresto de dos sospechosos que mataron a alguien, un peatón en la calle. El 21 de julio de este año a las 10:20 de la noche, Anna Solis estaba cruzando la calle. Había un carro Jaguar y un Dodge estaban manejando. Había un Jaguar y un Dodge que estaban haciendo carreras en las calles de alta velocidad. Uno de los carros atropelló a Ana y la mató. El chofer no paró a rendir ayuda y identificarse y se fugó de la escena. Detectives respondieron a la escena y hicieron su investigación. Agarraron partes del carro allí que pudo identificar el carro que le pegó fue el Jaguar. Más detectives de la División de Tráfico del Sur, en nuestros detectives del Tráfico Central, respondieron para ayudar para buscar video. Estos investigadores buscaron 6 millas de las calles para este video para poner un caso contra los choferes. En parte de este video se usaron para identificar el chofer y los vehículos. Entre una semana podemos identificar un chofer que se llama Javari Murphy de Palmdale y el compañero que estaba corriendo carreteras con fue Devin Wagner de Los Ángeles. Con la asistencia de una sección especial que de Gang Narcotics División, también con la ayuda con los federales marshals, pudieron encontrar a Javari Murphy lo localizaron y lo arrestaron. Días después, la sección de pandillas de Southwest recogieron al compañero Devin Wagner y lo arrestaron. Ahorita están en la cárcel. El fiscal puso cargos de homicidio a los dos. Y a Javier Murphy también de un accidente que se fugó. Los dos tienen una fianza de 2 millones. Una fianza de 2 millones. El fiscal puso cargos de, como le dije, homicidio. Un momento, el helicóptero. La próxima fecha del corte para esos dos va a ser el 1 de septiembre para su caso. Si tienen más preguntas para español, los puedo ver al lado. Y el capitán va a abrir para preguntas ahorita. Es lo que espero.
That concludes the press conference. Thank you. Okay. Any questions? Of who?
All right, so the suspects' names and spelling are Javorri Murphy, Javorrie, last of Murphy, Murphy. The other suspect arrested, Devin Wagner, Deven, last name Wagner, Wagner.
It's second-degree murder, so it's 15 to life. Mr. Murphy is also charged, as I mentioned, with hit and run. That adds a maximum of 6 years to that sentence.
But, excuse me, you said Murphy's charged with hit and run?
Yes.
But not Wagner?
Not Wagner.
Why, I mean, can you get a little closer?
Sure.
If Wagner was also involved in that and also left?
Because the important part of hit and run is the hit part, and only the Jaguar hit the victim. So you need that first part to get to the crime.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Questions?
Were there any extenuating circumstances? Did these men hide these cars? Were they themselves the suspects hiding somewhere? Can you talk about that?
So the Jaguar was recovered on July 30th by West Los Angeles Division by officers. When we were able to identify the vehicle, we immediately made notifications through the department, and an officer working West Los Angeles Division was able to recover that vehicle. It was parked on the street. The other vehicle that was recovered was being driven by Wagner at the time, and we were also able to recover that vehicle as well when we apprehended Wagner himself.
Do you believe he just dumped the Jaguar?
Yes.
Was it his?
It was not his. It was not registered to him. However, he was the driver at the time. Obviously, through canvassing, through video, we were able to, again, discover that he was the driver of that vehicle. And yeah, that's all I can release.
Gangs and narcotics worked on this. Are they both documented gang members, both men?
Our Gangs and Narcotics Division was paramount and instrumental in apprehending Javorri Murphy in this particular case. And they were a part of the apprehension team. That's their role in this one, in helping us to apprehend Javorri Murphy in this one.
Is Murphy a gang member?
I can't speak to that. I won't speak to that, but
And their ages?
Javorri Murphy, I believe, was 25. Devin Wagner was 19. Incredibly fast. From the video that we did recover, these cars were going incredibly fast to the point where oftentimes when we do canvas for videos, they're a blur in our videos. So it's really tough until we start doing the footwork, pre-collision, post-collision, and the actual collision to determine what kind of cars we were dealing with. As I had stated, we had parts recovered from the Jaguar at the scene.
The Jaguar, when it was found, was it still damaged, or had it been?
Yes, yes. And yes, there was still extensive damage to it. We do have it, and yeah.
Do you have a ballpark guess how fast they were going?
Again, ballpark, you know, it's tough to say. There's a lot of, you know, we're going to use our reconstructionists for this one. However, I would say probably in the range of 80 to 90 miles an hour, just based off of that video.
Any booking photos?
No, not at this moment, no.
Oh, did the race continue after they hit or after?
No. They were racing pre-collision, which was down Martin Luther King, up Hill Street, up into the collision. They were going back and forth, racing. So yes, we do have that.
Do you believe these men know each other? Were they friends?
Yes, yes, they were.
Were
Yes.
there passengers in the car?
Yes, there was.
In both cars?
Both cars.
We have time for one or two more questions. We gotta kind of.
Again, thank you all so much for your time. I don't think anybody else have any other questions. I appreciate all your guys' time. Thank you so much.